Good evening, everyone. Notice of this meeting stating date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Copies of the agenda, finance report, and personnel reports are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Deputy Clerk, please conduct a prayer and flag salute.
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow the guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided at the front of the room with your name and address. Please turn off all cell phones and place them on vibrate. If you wish to take a call, please leave the council chambers to do so. Deputy Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Orman?
Present.
Javik?
Present.
Caldwell?
Present.
Mohammed?
Present.
Cosby?
Excused.
Roman?
Here.
Strano?
Here.
Blaine?
Here.
Medina?
He will be here shortly.
Hudak?
Present.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Here. Okay, can we have approval of the public, of the minutes of the regular meeting of August 16th, 2022, please?
Council President, I move for approval of the minutes from the date you mentioned there and request a second.
Second.
Orman?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Abstain.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we're going to start with our presentations. First one we have is Mayor Armstead. You have your proclamation for Dorothy Clark for her life and contributions.
So good evening, everyone. You know, I've often said our city, we have a great city here. And it's not by happenstance. It didn't become great 2 weeks ago, didn't become great when I became mayor. It became great because generations of families who were here made it great. And to that end, I'm going to talk about a woman who I knew, Mrs. Dorothy Clark. Mrs. Clark set out in the cold with my mother while we played football in Pop Warner, and my sisters cheered, and Nancy twirled. And my little sister was a mascot. And it was a time, you know, that as I see parents out in the audience, I'm looking at these young girls, and our parents in our town, that's what they were. They were involved in everything. If one of our children, if one of my sisters wanted to be involved in dance, you could rest assured you see my mother. If they want to be in cheerleading, you see my mother. You see people like Mrs. Clark out there. And again, that's what made our town so great. Now, we don't do proclamations for everybody. You know, you get a proclamation when you've been out there doing not just family work for your family, but for our community. And to a certain extent, we call it God's work. Because we all know that when we put time in our community, that's something that God wants us to do. And it's like an investment. It's an investment in the future of your town, an investment in the future of your children. It's just a good thing. So my secretary's doing this. I don't know what she's doing. You got a problem with your neck? Oh, okay. You know, 'cause she says, I have a tendency to look at the crowd this way. But she said, she's telling me, but to be honest with you, I do have a problem with my neck. I got a problem with my neck. I got some, I don't know, maybe it's old age, I don't know, but it's creeping up. But in any event, the town's a great town because of people like Mrs. Dorothy Clark. And tonight we're going to do a proclamation for her, and a well-deserved proclamation. It reads as follows. Whereas Dorothy Clark was born on November 13th, 1929, to Philip and Anna Judge Inns in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And whereas Dorothy Clark grew up in Elizabeth, she was one of the 5 girls born to Philip and Anna. She attended and graduated from Sacred Heart High School. And whereas Dorothy married William B. Clark Sr. and had 6 wonderful children, Deborah, William, Thomas, Timothy, Nancy, and Robert. In 1967, the family moved to Linden. And whereas Dorothy worked for the Linden Board of Education in the cafeteria for 29 years, where she was beloved by all the students who lovingly called her the cafeteria lady, she retired in 1999 and was the second ward committee woman for the Democratic Party and volunteered for the Linden Emergency Medical Services, LVAC. And whereas Dorothy was loved by everyone who met her, she was one of those individuals that always had a smile and a kind word. Any life she touched would never forget her. She was one of those gentle, kind souls. To the friends of her children, she was like a second mom. They could talk to her and tell her anything, and she would listen and not judge. And when Dorothy was preceded by her parents, Philip and Anna, her sons William and Timothy, and 2 sisters, Barbara and June. And whereas Dorothy will be forever loved and cherished by her children, Deborah Thomas, Nancy, and Robert, her 11 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren, her 2 sisters, nieces, nephews, cousins, and a host of other relatives, neighbors, and friends. And now, therefore, it be proclaimed that I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, on this 20th day of September of 2022, do hereby proclaim that Dorothy Inns Clark entered into eternal rest on Friday, August 26, 2022, and that she lived a rich, full life of love, friendship, service to others. She leaves behind her loving family and friends who know they have been blessed with wonderful memories, hearts filled with love, and that she will always be in their thoughts, looking down on them, still watching and protecting them from heaven as their guardian angel. And is with heartfelt condolence, we honor Dorothy Clark, and signed by myself, Mayor Derek Armstead. And I'll have to say this, as I drive down Elizabeth Avenue, I will miss beeping my horn in my vehicle, because once she realized it was my car, she always waved. So, God bless you, Clark family, and thank you for allowing your mother to serve our town.
Can I just say something? On behalf of my family, we'd like to thank the mayor, council, president, and council members for this fine tribute to my mom. And I just want to tell you the type of person my mother was. And I'll tell you a story. 42 years ago, there was a torrential rainstorm. And my mom looked across the street and saw a young man standing underneath the gas station overhang and sent my father to get him. Well, he brought him in the house. The kid couldn't speak a lick of English. He was from Egypt. And my parents brought him in the house to get him out of the storm, and he became a lifelong friend to my parents. And that's how my mother was. She would give anything to anybody and do anything for anybody, and she loved the city of Linden. She loved her second ward, where she was very proud to be a committee woman back in the day when I was a little kid. But thank you again very much on behalf of my family.
Oh, okay. We'll take a picture. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Why don't you do your neck like that a couple times?
Good to her. She's one of us, too.
Okay, Mayor? Our next presentation, I'd like to ask the coaches of Linden Dancing School to please come up by Mayor Armstead.
So you're the coaches, huh? All right, all right. Oh, the dance, okay. We have a... Okay. Wait a minute, do I have a proclamation?
No, it's just the awards that are
Oh, just awards. I don't have anything to say. I still had a proclamation. We're just giving out awards. Okay, see? Anyway. Once again, good evening, everybody. Tonight, we will be giving out awards to the Dancing School, who took first place, I guess what they call the Excellence Award in Hip Hop at the 2022 World Championship of Dance. And once again, as we congratulate the young ladies for their accomplishment, we have to congratulate their coaches, and we have to congratulate their parents, okay? Because, again, you know, when you think about character building, athletics, dance, these are all very critical things that help our children develop into what they need to be. And, you know, as you look out in the audience, somebody's going to go further. I'm not going to say everybody's going to be a star in Hollywood, but it starts here. The potential, the possibility starts at this level. So I say, everyone, just keep doing what you're doing, hang in there, and one day, if I'm lucky, I'll see one of you guys on TV somewhere doing something big. That's the goal. And I'll be able to say she's from Linden. Okay, so we have awards for everybody. Now, they didn't give me a list of names.
Yeah.
No, okay, no, okay.
Yeah.
That's why she's my secretary. That's all right, huh? Okay, so we have a, and forgive me if I pronounce the names wrong, Felicia Rimbert. Hey, you're the coach. Look at me. Coach Felicia Rimbert. Okay, there you go. Now, I hope you're a coach too. Coach Stephanie Neck. Well, somebody was, okay, are we going to take pictures first? Okay. As you can see, this is not a choreographed thing. I'd probably do terrible in dance. Hang out. We're going to call, are we calling all the girls up? Okay. Okay. I have this Early Antonin? Aurelie Antonin. Okay. Congratulations. When I was young, I had a lot of hair too. Tabitha Apollyon. Tabitha, you here? Okay, Tabitha. Carol Brienza. Now, who are you?
I'm from Tina. Tina retired, and so here I am.
Oh, so you're like one of the coaches too, then?
Well,
I'm like a, okay.
I own
You're the owner. Oh, my goodness.
I was her coach when she was that little.
Okay, well, you got to stay up here, though. You don't get a chance to go back down. You got to hang out with us now, all right? And we have Gabriella Castamore. Gabby. We'll just call you Gabby, all right? This is an easy one. Anna Daniels. Oh, she's not here? Okay, we'll send it to her, okay. Another Gabriella De Campos. gonna take, oh, okay. Okay. I'll break away and take a picture with everybody if you want. They're really not shy. They sure aren't. Jayla DeFranca.
Another college.
College, all right. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing they're in college, isn't it? Okay. Michaela DePack, or Deepak. She couldn't be here either. Okay. Liana Dizon. Congratulations. There you go. Oh, okay. We missed some pictures in the beginning then. We got to go back and do a retake. Okay. Maya Edmond. College, okay. Jadalia Feliciano. Jadalia Feliciano, okay. I tried. Letizia Gorbalin. Did I get that one right? Oh, Letitia, come on over here. We're going to get it. Oh, so some of you, the ones who didn't get pictures early, got to come back and take a picture with me, right? Because I'm going to be rich and famous one day. Sophia Gorbalin. We'll just call you Sophie. How's that sound?
Thank you.
Turn around. Here you go. You look. Helia Hayward? I got it right. I got it right. Okay, Helia, how are you, darling? And we have Nadira Jenkins. Now, if I messed that one up, you had a right to be angry with me. Because I know her already. Chelsea LaFontaine. Chelsea. All right. Destiny Livingston. Who's your destiny, honey? Who's your destiny? Who's your destiny? There you go, dog. Uh-oh, Samantha Mart. Hey, Sam. How are you? Okay, you're welcome, dear. Carmia McLeroy. Kamaya. Kamaya, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you, darling. All right, there you go. Alexandra Rodriguez. In college, okay. Olivia Rodriguez. Olivia. Congratulations. Your handshake too, see that? Okay. Here's one I know. Alyssa Sassarak. Hello there, kiddo. How you doing? I've known this one for a very long time. If you could believe this, and you should, what's really your grandfather?
My great-grandfather.
Great-grandfather and my father and his brothers and sisters grew up in the same house. Wow. That's right. It's a very special town. It's a very special town that, you know, that people care about each other no matter where you're from, right?
Yeah, thank you.
And when she came to this little, I got stories, right? When she was a real little girl, it was like, you know, we had these things called Meet the Mayor. So there was a little kid sitting next to her. They're all asking questions. So he raised his hand. He said, "She says she's related to you." And so I had to peer in a little close because, you know, these eyes a little bit older. And I said, he said, "Is it true?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I told you." Hey, and as far as we're concerned, the De Silvas are our family. Right, Sissy? That's right. That's right. Oh, Natasha Silva. Hello, Natasha. How are you, dog?
Good, how are you?
You're excited, aren't you? All right, here you go.
Thank you.
Madison Tucker. That sounds. Hello, Madison. All right. Let's go take a picture of you, right? Okay. There you go. I think we're getting some of those colors. Daniela Velasco. Hey, Daniela. How you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Not bad for an old guy. Now the Tylenol's kicking in his shoulder, I got his neck. I'm feeling pretty good now. Okay. I think this is the first one that we missed wasn't here was Tabitha. Who? Janaea Diggs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Janaea Diggs. Okay. We'll straighten everything out later. Okay, now there was a couple of young ladies who, in my absent-mindedness, we didn't take a photograph, which those are the first two, the first couple that came up. Who didn't get the pictures first? Okay. The first three, come on up. You gotta get one at a time, one at a time. Don't everybody move at once, okay? Okay. And okay. We missed you too, right? Okay. Did we miss anybody else? Picture, photo-wise? We got the two soldiers, okay? Okay, now we're gonna, let's do a lineup in the front, get a picture of everybody. Maybe we should, John, we think maybe we should go on the front steps. We're gonna go on the front steps, you know. Gabby, did you get a picture? Did anybody get a picture? Who didn't get a picture? Oh, she didn't get one? You didn't get a picture? You didn't get a picture? Are you sure?
I think I did.
Well, let's take another one anyway.
I'll find out later. 1, 2, 3.
Hold on. All right. Now, are we sure that everybody got a picture? Everybody got a picture? Okay. All right. So we're going to all go outside and take a nice group picture together, okay? Just remember, you hold on to this picture because I'm going to be famous one day.
Congratulations, everyone.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing
Oh, no problem.
Because she thought you was one of the students.
Because
Because I didn't tell, I said direction.
That's okay. But we're gonna make it up. Yeah. I called her anyway because they gave me her name and I called her and just gave her a blue one. So we gotta put another one for her.
So that wasn't on the list. It must have not been. So
It's
email
okay.
me tomorrow, Janae Day, and email me what Ms. Brianna, my fifth grade teacher.
So now your daughter's one is a teacher.
No, my daughter's one of the dancers. But I was so happy for the girls. I wrote into it.
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. That's right. Okay.
Thanks for doing this. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Okay. I can take these with me.
Congratulations once again. Okay, we're now going to move on to ordinances on hearing, beginning with ordinance 6652, please.
An ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled, an ordinance establishing a schedule of titles, salary ranges, and regulations for maintaining the classification and salary standardization plan of all employees of the city of Linden, passed August 15, 1995, and approved August 16, 1995, add schedule 4QQ5.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance number 66-52, adopt the ordinance, and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman? Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6653, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Chapter 7 Traffic shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. Chapter 7 Traffic, 7-33 Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A Handicap Parking on Street. Add one space for 1111 Passaic Avenue, designated for Donald Dooley.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance 66-53, adopted, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6654, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Chapter 7 Traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows: 7-20 one-way streets. Add Charles Street in the north direction from Middlesex Street to East St. George Avenue.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing on ordinance 66-54, adopted, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, consent agenda items. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the city council and will have been enacted with one motion. We'll have no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. We have items number 1 through 4.
There's five.
Council President, point of order real quick.
Yes.
I just want the record to reflect that I was present at the council meeting, and I just want to know that my votes for 66-52 through 53 were yes votes.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, so consent agenda items number 1 through 5. Does any of the council members wish to remove an item? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, make a motion for consent agenda item 1 through 5, and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Bleen?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. We'll now move on to committee reports and comments from members of the governing body. Councilwoman Ormond, First Ward. We'll begin with you.
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'm going to start off with the Budget Review and Finance Report. Approval is requested for the following finance actions: the payment of bills totaling $3,158,408.06. Bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, and the Finance Chairwoman in a detailed check register, and vouchers are on file in the Clerk's office. We are in receipt of investments made by the City Treasurer for the month of August at the rate of 3.10%. I move for approval and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Bleen?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Okay, now for my Division of Transportation and Parking. I hereby submit the monthly financial report from the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of August 2022. This report includes the collection of on- and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. The Trenton side collection, $1,641. New York side collections, $724. Railroad credit card transactions, $20,203.58. Railroad permits, $95. Online railroad permits, $456. Parking meter collections, $14,807.80. Merchant permits, 0. For the grand total of $37,927.38, submitted by Tyrone L. Gibbons, the Traffic Maintenance Supervisor. Okay. I would also like to mention that this Saturday, the Linden Heritage and Cultural Committee, with the Town Council and the Mayor, will host September to Remember and the annual car show. There are going to be rides, vendors, food galore of different ethnicities. It's just a marvelous eating fest. There'll be a pie eating contest, a pizza eating contest, and lots of entertainment. But if you are a car lover, this is definitely a place to be on Saturday. So come out, bring your family. September to Remember, a good time will be had by everyone. On October 22nd and 23rd, we're contemplating for the First Ward annual fall yard sale. I'll keep you posted. We just have to determine whether or not that's going to be a good weekend for everyone, because certain people had mentioned that they would like to have one again. Now, some basic housekeeping. Your garbage cans cannot be placed curbside in order to secure a parking spot. I've heard on several occasions that residents are taking their garbage cans out on Friday night that are supposed to be picked up on Monday in order to make sure that people do not park in front of their homes. That's a no-no. In the event that you are pulling your can out early, that is subject to a summons, okay? You're not supposed to do that. Or it can get pulled back onto your property, so please don't do that. Parking is for everyone, not just in front of your house. It's not just for you. So please, like I said, be mindful. School is open. Please be mindful of that as also. There's increased traffic, especially during the morning and the 3 p.m. hour. Please drive carefully. Just look out for the children. There's just so many of them. I believe we have over 6,000 kids in our district. Also, if you see children hanging out during the school hour in Wells Park, please feel free to call the school. They are not supposed to be out there in the afternoon smoking. It's a no-smoking park, but they're not supposed to be out there. They're supposed to be in school learning. So please feel free to call the school and report it to the principal that they're out there. They will send their security or their truant officer around to send the kids back into the building. We do have a new principal, and I would like to welcome him. Mr. Kuntz, welcome to Linden High. I'm sure you're going to enjoy your time here with our kids. And if there's anything that I can do as a councilwoman of the First Ward, please feel free to reach out to me. I really don't have much going on in the ward. It's been a great summer. Just continue to be safe. And, just one last thing. We do have a lot going on in the community in terms of construction and remodeling of homes. That should not be done in the evening. We have ordinance against noise being made in the evening. Typically, that means that they're doing something illegal. If you feel as though there is illegal construction going on, you can report that also. Everyone is required to have a permit and go through the proper channels for any type of renovations that are being done to homes. So if you see it being done at late at night, it's not supposed to happen. Please feel free to give us a call and let us know. That ends my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ormond. Councilman Javik?
Yes, Council President. As chairman of the Fire Committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of August 2022, a total of $9,488.33. Regarding the Linden Fire Department ambulance billing, the amount of $62,498.80 for August have been added to the total deposits for 2022, totaling $578,780.43. Good evening, everybody. Well, first, I'd like to thank everyone for their patience regarding Lexington Dog Park. It is fully open with both dog fountains now working. In addition, we had our first dog birthday party at the park. So I'd like to congratulate Theo, who is now 1 year old, and thank the dog parents, Jeff and Connie Marino, for inviting me. We are also going to be adding several more benches as the park continues to get great usage. As a reminder, for the health, safety, and well-being of all, please clean up after your pet. If you need a curb your dog sign, please reach out to me and I'll provide that. Also remember, your pet must be leashed on public property and secured on private property. All dogs must be licensed with the city clerk's office. Our Linden Fire Department will be having a fire prevention night on Friday, October 7th, 5 to 7 p.m. in front of Linden City Hall. The theme this year is Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape. By planning and practicing your escape plan, you can increase your family and employees' preparedness, enabling them to react more quickly and safely in the event of fire prevention, in the event of a fire at your location. Fire Prevention Week this year is between October 9th to October 15th. Our Linden Health Department informs us that there will be a no-cost flu vaccination clinic at the Linden Library on October 17th and at the JTG Center on October 21st. In addition, no-cost COVID vaccination and testing will also be available at these clinics. On October 1st, a male and female cancer screening will take place at the JTG Center. These screenings are available to those that are uninsured or underinsured and who meet the required criteria. And on Saturday, October 15th, there will be a free health fair at the Linden Multipurpose Center at 1025 John Street. There will be 40 local and county health-related organizations, giveaways, prizes, a variety of no-cost health services, including COVID and flu vaccinations, blood pressure, blood sugar readings, hearing, vision testing, and HIV testing. And as one final reminder, the gas company will be doing some work in the 2nd Ward on Helen Street in Amesworth. Paving will eventually take place on West Price Street, and the city will be paving Lindegar Street. I can be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavik@linden-newjersey.gov. On Facebook, 2nd Ward Councilman Barry E. Javik. I also encourage everyone to visit our City of Linden website for additional information. Thank you, Council President, end of report.
Thank you, Councilman Javik. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to read off a street light installation. I make a motion for approval of installation of street lights at pole 0443 LD located at 315 West Gibbon Street. And I request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes.
As the Chair of Code and Construction, the Code and Construction Department has issued 406 permits, processed 59 certificates, and they have generated $114,224 in fees for the month of August 2022. As a report from IT has installed a virus and malware protection installed on the entire city. There's Wi-Fi outside all the departments. That's been completed. They upgraded a card swipe system to Eastern. And that concludes my IT report. Council President.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Mohammed?
Thank you, Council President. My dear friends and constituents, I'm delighted to see our children back at school, and I wanted to request that all drivers be mindful of all pedestrians walking to and from their schools. Last week, on September the 15th, we had a father and his son hit crossing St. George Avenue at Roselle Street. We're keeping them in our prayers, especially the little boy who is in critical condition. I was happy to help our neighbors experiencing recurring dog waste issues in our ward. We all love our pets, but should be respectful of each other's property while walking our furry friends. Public Works addressed illegal dumping that took place at the corner of McCandless and Jackson. Thanks as always, guys. Also, in the interest of vehicular and pedestrian safety, we had curbs painted yellow and street lining applied at various locations around the ward. Kudos to our Transportation and Parking Division. Finally, the tennis court at Martin Luther King Park have been milled, leveled, and paved. Color coding will take place in a few weeks. If I can pull a rabbit out of my hat, we'll have the basketball court colored coded as well if the budget permits. I wish you all a beautiful beginning to the autumn season. And welcome back to school. And good to see you all visiting with us here at the council meeting. Some visitors I haven't seen before, and I'm glad to see. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Mohammed. Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Linden. I just wanted to start off talking about the Pleasant Avenue. Over the last, I might go a few minutes over, I apologize in advance. Over the last 2 or 3 months, there's been a massive increase in the amount of trucks on Pleasant Street, Pleasant Ave. That is the street behind General Motors or Walmart now. Now, this is sort of supposed to be expected with development in the area. However, it was a massive explosion overnight of trucks, and we found out that they were basically waiting and headed to the Unitex facility. A lot of them are sleeping there on the side of the road. They're getting on both sides of the street, and it's actually surprisingly making Pleasant very narrow and dangerous. They're also blocking up all the way up to Rebecca Street, which is a no parking area. And then there's been a lot of complaints about it, and I've seen it personally. I drive that way every single day, and it's really bad. So sometimes there's 15 to 20 trucks there. Come to find out, it is a no parking area. We are rectifying it through the traffic committee, and we're going to put up signs and repaint the lines. Hopefully that'll alleviate the problem for the residents of Smith and Hampton. I just want to let you know that we are working on it. It's going to take a few weeks. Last week I received a call from Congressman Tom Malinowski, who was recently, his congressional district was recently put into Linden through congressional redistribution, and that occurs every 10 years. He called me and asked me about the flooding that happened in Linden over the past 10 years, specifically with Hurricane Ida, as this is now going to be his district. He's had some success getting flood resiliency money for all the towns along the Rahway River, like Cranford, Milburn, Springfield. So he came, he walked. I appreciate him talking to the residents, specifically at Emma Place. For those you don't know, I'm sure you have if you watch these meetings, Emma Place every 4 or 5 years for the last 12 years has had 8 foot of water come into their backyards through these storms. There are residents down there that have lived there for 60 years. They lose everything in their basements and in their houses essentially every 5 years at this point. It is a miserable situation, and it requires substantial federal investment. It's not going to be able to be done by the city because of the size of the project from the creek back there. So he walked the area. He listened to their needs. I didn't know this. He's the first Polish-born congressman in American history, which I learned while walking with him. But it says a lot about his character and the way he spoke and literally just listened to people that have been living on the street for so long. So I just wanted to let people know that he came out there, and there's a lot of infrastructure money coming down the pike from the infrastructure bill they passed last year, and it'll go on for federal budgets for the next couple of years. And we actually have an opportunity to get some of that money down the road to fix the problem for Emma Place and also in Councilman Strano's ward, Winans, 14th, and a bunch of other 16th Street. You know, the cars were literally just moved everywhere. So that's something that could be worked on down the pike, and I just wanted to thank him for that. I've been walking the neighborhood. There are a lot of trees that need cutting. We'll be working with DPW to get that done over the next couple months as the trees start to lose their leaves. Also, Willows Glade Road. Willows Glade Road is right up against BJ's. For many years, Willows Glade Road has been the dumping ground for contractors to just dump their construction material. It's been a disaster since I've gotten on, and even before I've been on council. I want to give a shout out for Charlie Dulco and others, everyone else that was involved. They've been working with the property owners over there, and for the first time since I've been on council, the area is actually cleaned, and it's been being upkept by the property owners, which is pretty awesome to finally not see the water down there in Peach Orchard Brook contaminated and have tires in it and such. So thank you. I was going to ask, I've been getting a lot of complaints from residents about the flock camera system, and I was just hoping that the chief could just give a 1-minute dissertation. I don't know enough about it, but there are polls going up in the 6th Ward, and I just want to alleviate concerns to the residents from hearing from the chief about this system, and I think it's important that everyone watching hears about it. Chief, I hate to put you on the spot, but just if you got a minute on it.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I think I mentioned this in the past. The city appropriated through the police department about $55,000 last year for a flock camera system. We have cameras put out in strategic locations throughout the city, mainly on some of the thoroughfares and some of the possible high crime areas. Obviously, it's not for public information where they're located. We also have plate readers. The ALPRs are called automated license plate readers. They've helped us solve a tremendous amount of activity within the city. We've had several felony arrests from them. 3 or 4 hit and runs have been solved, and also the arrest at the Manga Lounge shooting of 5-6 weeks ago. We've made 2 arrests from these flock cameras assisting our detectives. There's nobody looking at anybody's house. There's some rumors that there was cameras on people's houses. There are some other polls put up throughout the town. I'm not really at liberty in this meeting to say what they are. There was some concerns in the 6th Ward. There are not cameras on people's homes there. I can rest assure you of that. And it's great for the city. It's great for law enforcement. We share our information, too, with Elizabeth Police. And we've solved several cases in within the last 5-6 weeks, several stolen car arrests and also felony arrests of warrants that were in people driving these cars. So it's not Big Brother watching. It's a great tool for law enforcement, and there's no cameras on anybody's house, I can tell you that.
Just thank you, Chief. I wanted him to say that because you know, there are no cameras off the main thoroughfares, and I promise you, like, no one's looking into your houses. That's not how these cameras work. They only look for license plates and only hit when a license plate goes by that could create an unsafe situation. So I just want to set that straight, and I appreciate you, Chief. Clinton Street, I'm almost done, Council President. Clinton Street is getting ready to be paved by the gas company, so please watch out for those signs when they go up. You cannot park on the street that day, and if you're going to park on that street that day, there's a possibility you get towed because they're going to pave that day. So all of Clinton Street from Linden Ave to Wood Avenue will be paved soon. I want to thank the engineering department for the work they did on the sidewalks in that area, and they look really good. I also want to thank them for paving Union Ave, Wood Place, East Stimson, and I'm looking forward for the completion of that work. Also, we're appropriating $60,000 in these resolutions here tonight for trees, which is a lot more than the city of Linden has appropriated for trees in the past. I am happy to hear this because I've cut out a lot of dead trees in the 6th Ward, and I'm anxious to put them back. So if you want a tree, please. My phone number is 908-494-5784. And last but not least, I saw on the consent agenda that Tony Copland was retiring at the end of the month. Just want to take a moment to thank Tony and his entire family for the decades on decades of service to this city. Also saw that John Palazzano was resigning in good standing today. For the last few years, JP, as we call him, was the one who came to everyone's home during sewer backups, and he was in the 6th Ward a lot with our old infrastructure. And I can't tell you how many times I called that guy at 7 o'clock in the morning, him and Reggie, and they were able to help the residents when the backups were happening. So thank you, Council President. I appreciate that.
Okay, just a housekeeping note, anyone that walked in late, if anybody wishes to speak in the public comment portion, just please sign the sheets in the front of the room. Okay, Councilman Strano?
Yes, Council President, personnel report in the mayor's office approving the amended appointment of date for Keith Pressey, management specialist, to October 3rd of 2022. B is approving the 1-week extension of the following summer help through September 2nd of 2022, and that's Faithy Tupu, Bruno De La Quadra, and Hager El Swashi, in the police department. A is approving the amended resignation in good standing for Detective David Nolasco, effective for August 29th of 2022. B is approving the resignation in good standing of Beverly Stokes, Clerk 1, effective September 9th of 2022. C, approving the posting of Clerk 1 at the salary range pursuant to the salary range between $34,458 and $59,670 and commensurate with experience. D is approving the resignation in good standing with the following SLEO 3s: Keith Aslan, effective September 12th of 2022, George Allard, effective August 29th of 2022. E is approving the posting for 2 special law enforcement officers 3 at the rate of $35 per hour. F is approved the promotion of Sergeant Matthew D'Amata to lieutenant effective October 1st, 2022 at the salary of $133,718. G is approving the appointment of Giovanna Collin as a Clerk 1 at the salary of $34,548 effective October 3rd of 2022, subject to successful completion of all pre-employment requirements. H has approved the appointment of Stephanie Sporer as a Clerk 1 at the salary of $34,548 effective October 3rd, 2022, which is successful to completion of all pre-employment requirements. I is approving the appointment of Dennis Cabezas, Computer Service Technician, at the salary of $37,500 effective October 3rd of 2022, pending successful completion of all pre-employment requirements. J is approving the change in title for Matthew Graff to a Computer Service Technician at the annual salary of $37,500, which will be effective October 3rd of 2022. K is approving approval to conduct background checks for 6 police recruits. JKL is to approve the appointment of Reynolds Vasquez as a public safety telecommunicator at the salary of $41,000 effective October 15th of 2022, and that's subject to the successful completion of all pre-employment requirements. 3, in construction code, A is to approve the appointment of Roldiana Jane, which is student assistant, at the rate of $13 per hour, not to exceed 20 hours per week. B is to approve the posting for 1 full-time clerk at the salary range of $34,548 to $59,670 and commensurate with experience. C is approve the appointment of Sagaswia Karila, Clerk 1, at the salary of $34,548 effective October 12th, 2022, subject to successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. 4, in Department of Community Services, A is approve the rescinding of the appointment of Michael Sesman, Mechanic, Tier 2. B is approve Shane Gullett's return to his permanent civil service of heavy equipment operator effective October 1st of 2022 at the salary rate of $27.50 per hour. C is approving the resignation of good standing of Dwayne Jones, a building maintenance worker 2, effective September 1st of 2022. D is approve the promotion of Michael Williams to building maintenance worker 1, Tier 2, at the salary of $18.13 an hour, effective September 21st of 2022. E is approving the posting for the position of laborer, Tier 2, and public properties at the salary rate of $17 per hour. F is approving the continued posting for the following positions. I, mechanic, or 1 mechanic, Tier 2, Public Works, 2 open positions at the salary rate between $18 and $39.72 per hour, which is commensurate with experience. 2, or II, is diesel mechanic, Tier 2, in Public Works, 2 open positions at the salary rate of between $21 and $40.72 per hour, which will be commensurate with experience. III is laborer, Tier 2, Public Works, at the salary rate of $17 per hour. And IV, mechanics helper, Public Works, at the salary rate of $18 to $38.72 per hour. G is approving the promotion of Trell Myers to a truck driver, Tier 2, at the salary rate of $21 per hour. H, approving the resignation of good standing of Junior Posey, mechanics helper, effective September 15th of 2022. I is approving the separation of employment of Alexander Ventura, a laborer, effective September 15th of 2022. J has been removed. K is approving the resignation in good standing of John Polizano, sewer maintenance worker, Tier 2, effective October 7th of 2022. 6 in the Recreation Department is approving the unpaid internship for Austin Urban in conjunction with Keene University Student Program, effective through the 2022-2023 school year. 7 is in the Personnel Department, approval of the following FMLA and JFLA leave, which are on file in the Division of Personnel. Move for approval and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes to everything except for B.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes, with the exception of 4B.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Go ahead, Councilman.
Okay, real quick in the ward updates, East 10th Street's been milled. It's ready for paving. If it wasn't paved already, I'm not sure. I didn't see it today. I saw it yesterday. I just want to mention new striping on Parkway Avenue at Hay Street to keep traffic correctly oriented at that abnormal road junction there. To lay it as a strange layout. That's right by Holy Family Church and Monsignor Comer Hall. Those that live in the area are well versed with the way the traffic is supposed to flow there, but with the advents of Uber and Lyft and others unfamiliar with the area, they will now have improved direction. I want to thank the engineering department for overseeing the improvement there. And I'm going to conclude my report at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Strano. Councilman Blaine.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to make one correction on the personnel report. I approve the personnel report with the exception of 4B. Thank you, everyone. I first like to commend our fire department because they don't get enough credit for all the hard work that they do throughout the city. They recently had an incident with a young lady who didn't know she was pregnant. And they delivered the baby, and the baby's healthy, the young lady's healthy, and she was able to go on to the hospital. But that's just to let you know that it's just not fires that they put out. These guys are really doing God's work out there. So I want to give them their kudos. Police department. Again, although an arrest wasn't made, but they did find equipment that someone was using to steal the cat litter converters. So we are closing in. I mean, this is a nationwide problem, but here in the city of Linden, that we are closing in, and if we're scaring them off, and if we can get them out of Linden, hey, I'm all for it. Let's keep running them out. Summer's over. We had a fantastic summer, events all over the place. We just, past weekend, we had a Polish celebration. There was another festival down at Memorial Park. Great events. The community came out. Everyone enjoyed themselves. So That was very nice. We're going into budget season, so again, it's going to be really serious and intense for the month of October as we get into all the budgets of the various departments. And kudos to the mayor for presenting us with a number of years of zero tax increase. I can't wait to see what the results of this year will be, but I'm rooting for you, Mayor, and hopefully we can return the same results again. I'd like to announce on the 8th Ward, October 1st, we're having our yard sale. So this is the time you don't have to pay for a permit. So October 1st will be our official date for our yard sale. I received an email for Dorothy Ford Park, which formerly is St. Mark's Park. The work that we were waiting for, the work has been submitted out for bid, so we're waiting for those bids to come back, and hopefully we'll get some of that work starting to get done. And there's also an ordinance up to be read later on for funding for the renovation of all parks throughout the city, so that's good news. One housekeeping note. I couldn't help from noticing on my way home, I went past Mikowski Park, that's right off of Park Avenue, and as much as we want the parks available for the entire community, and we actually promote people getting out and getting some fresh air and enjoying themselves, but you have to be mindful of the conditions of the park when you leave. If you continue to keep all the litter and everything else around the park, you're going to force us to call the officials and you know, make you stop your fun and start to clean up after yourself. That's just a little housekeeping. Be cognizant and be mindful of all the neighbors, because everyone wants to come out and enjoy the park. I'd be remiss if I didn't make notice of, I've received a lot of calls about the EPA announcements of the air quality in the city of Linden. I just want you to know that it's a government issue. Even though we are addressing it in various forums, and any health affair that you see going on throughout the city, please feel free to walk up to one of our health authorities, and they can explain and answer any questions that you may have. And that concludes my report. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Blaine. Councilman Medina.
Yes, thank you, Council President, and good evening, everyone. Before I go into my report, Council President, I just want to make mention and maybe correct my vote on the personnel. I voted no for 4B, and it's nothing this council is doing incorrectly or anything wrong. The way I feel, I got a little bit emotional because the gentleman on there is a hard worker, and I believe he should have stayed in that position, but unfortunately, it's outside forces that is making us revert that decision. And I know he will get back up there again, so I just want to make sure I make that clear. Nothing the council is doing wrong. I just believe this gentleman works really, really hard, and unfortunately, it's out of our control that we have to make the decision. I had to go talk to the mayor. He said, Armando, you know, it's nothing that we're doing wrong. I told him I'm going to retract that. So it's going to be yes to all on the personnel report. So I just want to make mention of that. Real briefly, a quick update on 9th Ward. I believe it's phase 1 of Wilson Park renovations were completed. Got brand new tennis courts, brand new basketball courts. I see the people are out there, they're enjoying them. It's amazing. New fencing, new coating, new pavement, new hoops, new backboard, etc. I know there are going to be trees planted pretty soon. The walkways will be done at one point. And at one point, all the parks are going to replace the benches and actually sit them on concrete slabs. So instead of currently now you sit there and in a rainy day, if your foot or your feet are in mud, essentially. So this is going to eliminate that. So I'm really excited about that. Been complaining about the speeding issue in the mornings, especially around the school hours. I know the police were out there this morning on the Terrace, and I know they were giving out summonses. It's just very unfortunate that we have people, most of them are parents, they're just folks that live in the community, are speeding, passing, at a high rate of speed, past the kids, and actually blowing stop signs. So it's kind of very disheartening, but I know there's no cure to that problem. It's really just enforcement, and we're hoping that we continue to inject the fear of God in some of these drivers, and maybe they'll slow down. We have McManus on the way, we have the high school right down the road, and then we have 2 elementary schools as well. So just ask folks, please just just slow down a little bit. That's all we ask for. And just try to keep everyone safe. As far as the projects in the Ninth Ward, I'm excited to say that due to the help of this council and engineering, we finally got Elmwood Terrace repaved, I believe the full 3 blocks from Myrtle all the way down to Orchard, which was sorely needed. Birchwood, I want to say Livingston, Livingston might be next year, and part of Fernwood and whatnot. So I always get excited when I see these infrastructure projects because it really just shows the folks that, hey, we're taking your tax dollars and we're reinvesting it back into the community. That's what government is for. Just to make a quick note, the intersection of Harbor and Yale Terrace, I spoke to the city assistant engineer, and those intersections where the water company cut out and it's kind of raised and it's really bumpy, creating cars that go on oncoming traffic. We're hoping that they're going to be out there pretty soon just to kind of level that off, and hopefully they'll go out there before the end of the year, or not first part of 23, to just kind of like redo the restoration on those streets where they install the new water meters. Besides that, we do have an upcoming community yard sale, October 15th and 16th. I know a lot of folks want to do these yard sales right before the bulk trash. So myself and Councilwoman Hudak, we got together and we figured out, we came out with this date. So I think it works great for the 9th and 10th Ward. So we're hoping to see a large participation of folks out there for the yard sale. And I think that's everything for the 9th Ward, but I'm always available. Always give me a call, 908-986-6100, or you can email me at amedina@linden-nj.gov. That concludes my report. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councilman Medina. Councilwoman Hudak.
I'd like to acknowledge Hispanic Heritage Month, and to everyone who celebrates Lashana Tova, it's the year 5783. Happy Rosh Hashanah. And congratulations to Linden's own award-winning resident, Sonia Pittman, who co-produced Eat Up NYC, and that show aired on ABC, which is a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company. And Sonia Pittman, she's part of the food revolution that we see on TV today. So a big shout out to her. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hudak. Okay, I have a report from the Linden Public Library, just some of the events coming up. They have the New Jersey Lecture Series will be starting tomorrow, September 21st, with the presentation, The FBI and the Politics of High Technology. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the library. I also encourage anyone looking for activities for their children to go to the library or to their website, lindenpl.org. Many clubs and activities will be starting, including the Rubik's Cube Club, Terrific Toddler Playtime, Origami Club, Book Bingos, just to mention a few. So please either stop into the library or visit their website. This is also a last call for donations of books, DVDs, or CDs. They are being accepted until September 23rd at the library for the upcoming Friends of Linden Library book sale. This past weekend, we had the Polish Festival on Wood Avenue. I want to give a special thank you for all who helped with the success of our Polish Festival, particularly Danuta Laskowska, Mickey Ponticello from Uptown Linden, Leslie Zach and Dan Sobolewski, our police and fire departments, Public Works and Public Property, Brad Crienzo with TV 36, and of course the ROTC. Each year we are adding new events to the festival. We are looking forward to next year. I want to also give a shout out to all who attended and helped with the planning of the 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony at Wanda Green Park. It was a rainy day, but we still had a good turnout. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Pastor Pam for her singing rendition of Let There Be Peace on Earth to close out the ceremony. She did a fantastic job. And I also want to once again thank Richie Check, who every year lets us use his electricity to have the ceremony. So thank you, Rich. That concludes my report for this evening. Mayor Armstead?
Yes, good evening all. The first thing I'd like to do is announce the passing of Lieutenant Nancy Petrovsky. Nancy passed on August 19th. She served as a lieutenant here in the city of Linden. She served for 30 years on a department. She was our first female to become a sergeant, and she was the first female to become a lieutenant. So I'd like everybody to take a moment of silence just in honor of her. Thank you. I'd like to congratulate Matt D'Amato on his promotion to lieutenant. Matt, you've got some pretty big shoes to fill. You know that Nancy was a dedicated worker, and she did a great job here for the city. I'd like to report some good news. Saturday, we have our September to Remember Festival. It's an annual festival that we've had for some years now. I look forward to seeing everybody out there. There'll be food, fun, and games for everyone. On, what day is this on? September 28th, we'll be having a wine tasting art expo fundraiser at the Raymond Woodbauer Promenade. That's right across the street from City Hall. The money is used to raise money. The money donated will be used to raise for scholarships. Now, last year, the Mayor's Youth Commission, we gave out 17 $500 scholarships, and we raise our money through the weddings that I perform, and I'm not allowed to keep the money for the wedding, so what we do in turn is raise the money and we give it to a nonprofit, and then from there we give it back to Linden High School students. And again, last year we gave out 17 $500 scholarships, and our goal this year is to not only give out scholarships through the Mayor's Youth Commission through the weddings, but to double that so we can give out, maybe 30 or 40 scholarships next year. So we have a number of events scheduled to help us raise additional funds. So again, that's going to be on September 28th from 6:30 to 9 p.m. and again at the Raymond Woodbauer Promenade across the street from City Hall. Now we have another fundraiser that's scheduled. We're going to have a color run, and that will be Saturday, October 1st at 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. It costs $32 to participate, and if you're interested, you can call 908-937-0477, or you can just scan the barcode on any of the advertisements that we have in town. On October 7th, from 5 to 7 p.m., it'll be Fire Prevention Night, and so we invite our city residents to come out once again, and we have this event every year as well. It's a nice evening for children, especially to learn about fire prevention and what to do in the event that there was a fire. And it's going to be right in front of City Hall. And again, that's a good day for everyone to attend. We're having our 9th annual Car and Truck and Bike Show. This will be held down at Aviation Plaza. There's $20 registration for each car that enters. The money, this is a scholarship fundraiser also in memory of Officer Frank Vigiano and Joe Rodriguez, two gentlemen from town here who perished in a car accident over in New York. That was early on when I first became mayor. I'd like to also congratulate Michelle Yamakaitis and her committee on the Polish Festival that we had this past weekend. It was a complete success. And also Pastor Pam Jones on her event that she had over at Wilson Pond, where it was well attended, and it was a complete success also. And also the city workers who came out and worked that weekend. Although they were paid, they did an exceptional job trying to make sure everything was clean after the event was over. And last but certainly not least, and I know I'm probably going to be chastised by my lawyers after doing so, the item 4B on the agenda, which basically had to rescind an appointment. Now, I want everybody, I see his family is here tonight, but I want everybody to know, make it perfectly clear, that I'm the one who promoted him. He had a work ethic and has a work ethic that is second to none. So we made a decision, based on my recommendation, to promote this gentleman and give him what we felt was what he deserved. That is to be in charge and to make more money. The unfortunate thing here is that we answer to a higher authority, and that's civil service. So although we promoted him, civil service rendered a decision and told us that we had to rescind that promotion. Now, what does that exactly mean? It doesn't mean that he'll never be a supervisor. It just means that we have to figure out a way to make him a supervisor again. And as much as I, went through whatever I went through to get him to that level, I will certainly do everything humanly possible to get him back to that level. Because I don't just refer to him as a, I can't say his name. Am I allowed to say names? Huh? Well, it's just 4B. He's not just 4B. I consider him my 4B, okay? And his family knows that. They know very well how I feel about them and their family. You know what I mean? Some of them even call me Uncle Derek, okay? They know when I come to that door who I am and how I feel about them. So I don't want anybody to leave this room this evening feeling hopeless or like this is it, this is the end of the road. And again, as much as I made a recommendation to get him there, I will certainly do everything humanly possible to make sure that he gets back there. That's my job, okay? And you all know how I feel about I'm going to call him 4B because I can't call his name. And you all know how I feel about my 4B. I've known him since from knee-high to a grape, from the first day I met him, and the love that family has showed me and the love that we've shown each other over the years, there should be no question as to what's going to happen here. So, and I don't want you to look at this governing body in a way like they've done again, we answer to a higher authority, and that's the state level. And the civil service had rendered this decision, and we have to abide by it, or we'll find ourselves in legal trouble with other employees. So just give us some time. Took me a long time to get here, and I got here, and you put me here with purpose and reason. So you have to trust me that I'm going to do what has to be done to make sure that my 4B is taken care of. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Roman?
Thank you,
You
Council
forgot
President.
something on your report?
I just wanted to also congratulate Lieutenant D'Amata, and I just wanted to say also, because we don't speak, there's no comment period on the personnel report, but I told a story to the council last night about a gentleman during our last snowstorm in 2 feet of snow in our dead ends who came on a front loader and one by one took people out of, did their driveways, essentially, did the front of their driveways, which is not required nor even normally done by Linden DPW. And I watched a young kid help the elderly and help everyone else in my neighborhood. And that day, I was forever thankful. It was actually prior to any promotion that we did last year. And I just wanted to back up the mayor. Me and him don't normally agree on a whole lot, but we're in 100% agreement. I'm backing him up 100% agreement on this, is that the work ethic is amazing, and I'm with the mayor and this council. Anything we can do to rectify and get past the civil service issue. Thank you, Council President. I appreciate you.
And I'm sure the sentiments of all this council are the same to the family of 4B. Okay? We're going to move on to resolutions. Okay, we have resolutions 2022-306 through 2022-331. Okay, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion. Council President, I'd like to make a motion to accept resolutions and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yamakitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinances on first reading. We have an additional ordinance, 6661, which will be read at the end. Okay, we're going to start off with ordinance 6655.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Chapter 7 traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-33 handicap parking regulations, 7-33.1A handicap parking on street, add 1 space at 200 West Gibbon Street, designated for a vehicle for Joan Regit.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6655, please?
Yes, thank you, Council President. I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 6655 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6656, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $165,000 for the closure of Linden Sanitary Landfill for the Division of Public Works, and authorizing the issuance of $156,750 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6656, please?
Council President, I move ordinance number 6656 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine? Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6657, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $220,000 for City Hall garage renovations for the Division of Engineering, and authorizing the issuance of $209,000 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6657, please?
Council President, I move ordinance 6657 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6658.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $232,100 for environmental remediation work at 13 Knopf Street for the Division of Engineering, and authorizing the issuance of $220,495 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Can we have a motion for introduction, please?
I move ordinance 6658 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6659, please.
Bond ordinance amending bond ordinance number 66-14, finally adopted by the City Council of the City of Linden on March 15th, 2022. This amendment provides an appropriation of $603,900 for various park improvements for the Department of Parks and Recreation, and authorizes the issuance of $573,705 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6659, please?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion to move ordinance 6659 to introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 6660, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 3, Police Regulations of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of City of Linden, Section 1, Chapter 3, entitled Police Regulations, shall be amended to add the following. Section 3-54, declaring all Linden public buildings and lands be weapon-free zones.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6660, please?
Council President, I'd like to motion to introduce ordinance 66-60, and I'd like to ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Mohammed.
Yes.
Roman.
Yes.
Strano.
No.
Blaine.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Yes. Ordinance 6661.
An ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease agreement between the City of Linden and the SRV Linden 1 Urban Renewal LLC. Whereas the provisions of the local land and building laws, NJSA 40A:12-1 at sequence, permits a municipality to acquire buildings by lease as defined in NJSA 40A:12-2A and NJSA 40A:12-3A, as may be necessary for the performance of its functions and to conduct the public business of other municipal public purposes. And whereas NJSA 40A:12-5A specifically provides that a municipality may, by ordinance, provide for the acquisition of a capital improvement, including a building by lease agreement. Whereas the City Council of the City of Linden has determined that there is a need for an additional facility for the operation of the city's Social Services Department. And now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden as follows. 1, the City Council hereby approves the execution of a lease agreement with SRV Linden 1 Urban Renewal LLC for the use of the aforesaid facility on the terms set forth operations of the City Social Services Department, and a copy of which attached hereto and incorporate by reference, subject to further modifications by the city attorney and/or his designee. 2, this ordinance is expressly contingent upon the execution of the aforesaid lease agreement by both parties. Be further ordained that this ordinance shall take effect pursuant to law.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 6661, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to introduce ordinance 66-61 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond.
Yes.
Javik.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Mohammed.
Yes.
Roman.
Yes.
Strano.
Yes.
Blaine.
Yes.
Medina.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Yes. We're going to now move on to comments from members of the public in attendance. Many have come in after I announced about signing in on the white paper for people that want to speak at the public comment portion. Is there anyone here that didn't sign the paper that wants to speak? Okay, we'll move ahead. Okay, this is the public comment portion of the council meeting. It's on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments, not to exceed 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to start with, first speaker would be Janelle Henderson. Please come on up. She's going to turn, Councilman Roman said he'll turn it around. Just a second, please.
He's going to turn the podium around. Okay, thank you.
Okay, please just state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Janelle Henderson, 30 East Elm. I also have a daycare establishment, Jumping Bunnies Academy, located at 918 Lincoln Street. And in addition to providing child care services for quite a number of years in this community, I'm also founder and executive director of Friends of Fourth Ward Park, a grassroots community-based organization right here within the community with a commitment and mission to give back to the residents of this community. Okay, on August 27, we just successfully completed, we sponsored and hosted our 11th annual Community Day at Fourth Ward Park. It was a huge success and it was free for all in attendance. I'm here today because I have been seeking to expand my child care establishment within the city for quite a number of years. Okay, and I've been met with opposition from the local municipality at every turn. On August of 2019, I filled out an application for a certificate of occupancy to occupy 422 Northwood Avenue, the old Russell's Tuxedo. Okay, as you all are aware, Wood Avenue is the central business district of this community. Per your own statute and legislation, 40:55D-66, it advises that daycare is a principal permitted use within the C1 district of this community. As you all are aware, there are two other daycares functioning, one adjacent, Little Meadows, on the corner of Henry Street and Wood, and diagonally across the street on Knopf, you have Building Blocks Academy. Both daycares within the C1 zone, principal permitted use. However, when I filled out an application for my CO, the city construction official struck my application down, and his reasoning was that he found it contrary to the city zoning ordinance for this zone. That's funny because I just recited the city's ordinance for this zone, permitting daycare as an allowable use, okay? I played along, and I spent tens of thousands of dollars to acquire all the necessary representation to present before the city's planning board, which I did, and I was met with more opposition. My application was struck down yet again, pending a traffic study and traffic and impact study. That's funny because the city statute advises that within a C1 zone, traffic and parking is not a requirement, okay? So there's some underlying factor, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know why. I watched, in the 3 years that my application has been stonewalled, I watched all the major developments and corporations come in, and more power to you. If leadership's vision for this city is to put a high-rise and a Starbucks on every corner, I have nothing to do with the politics of this community. However, I am concerned that Linden is becoming a city where local people and small business owners can no longer thrive or even survive here. But it's those same little local people that you all depend on for support when you're canvassing on the campaign trails. Starbucks can't put your lawn sign outside, but I have. I've happily obliged for years. I promote the propaganda. I promote the propaganda. I support the
Ms. Henderson, your time is up.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And please excuse me if any of my comments were inflammatory, but I'm very frustrated and exhausted with this, financially and emotionally. If the letter of the law is on my side, and I understand that the city planning attorney, Mr. Rinaldi, serves at the pleasure of the mayor, but if the city ordinance, duly enacted ordinances are law, and as an officer of the court, he has an obligation to uphold the law, even if it doesn't fit in somebody's frame of their personal vision or agenda.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And I apologize profusely if anything was inflammatory. That's not my mission.
Thank you. Okay, our next speaker is Karen Battles. Okay, please state your name and address for the record.
Karen Battles, 600 West Henry Street, Linden, New Jersey.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm here on behalf of over 100 residents and local business owners in Linden that are in support of Shane Gillette maintaining his supervisory position for the Department of Public Works. He has been performing an impeccable service. There was an Oprah report that was requested that has not been given back, which would allow us to see how many other supervisors are in their position who have also failed their civil service exam, but they still are in their position and have not been demoted as Shane is being demoted. It is unfair if you are going to say that because of civil service exam, he has to be demoted, but you have other supervisors. We don't want to call names, but we have one name by the name of Phil Palmer, who was...
Ma'am, we cannot name personnel.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, there's other supervisors that are in their position that have failed the exam, and they have not been demoted. We feel that Shane is doing a great job, and we do not want him to lose his supervisor position. He helps everyone, and he has been a long-term resident of Linden. He graduated high school here, and we feel that it is unfair, and everybody should be looked at that has taken the civil service test that has not passed either.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Craig Holleran.
Craig Heller, 120 Donaldson Place. Okay, my first question, I don't expect an answer until maybe the next council meeting. This is reference to the pilot programs where payment is made in lieu of taxes. There was a court ruling in Atlantic City knocking down the pilot program in effect in that city for some reason. I'm not sure of all the details. I'm just bringing this up to the council's attention, that they can look into this and how it may affect the city if the city's pilot programs are found unconstitutional or whatever. Next question, is the city working with the merchants in the quick check area to find other areas to provide where they can continue doing their business that they do in town? Another question would be, do the new apartments and condos have problems finding tenants? That's something I don't know. And for the fire and police department, I believe they had an academy during the summer for children. Are they planning to continue that during the summer? And the last thing would be banners for Linden veterans. I know, one person I'd love to put in would be my father-in-law, which I did not have the opportunity to meet. He died before I met my beautiful wife. But I know he served in World War II, and I think it would be a fitting tribute to him. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Okay, Mr. Halloran? Councilman Roma will give this to you. That's for the veterans. Yep. Yep. Okay, the information to apply for it is on there. Okay, Mr. Halloran? I know, as far as the quick check, I know they are trying to help find relocations for them. Okay, Alex Laspinoza from the mayor's office, I had a conversation recently with him. They are working with them to relocate them in different areas, as close nearby as possible. Okay, and the apartments and condos, Mayor, do you have any recent numbers on the apartments and condos, the rentals?
I just know that the most recent one that we built on West Elizabeth Avenue, it's 234 units. I think there's only like 12 units left within 6 months.
Okay.
Yep.
And
They're moving along.
and all the rest of them are at capacity, all the new units.
Yep. And as far as the fire and police academies, I think I could speak for both chiefs. We're going to continue that again next year.
Thank you.
And Council President, while we're talking about housing, just so everybody knows that we have plans to build what we call workforce housing in Linden. We do believe that some of the apartments that are being constructed, that the rents are too high. So what we're doing now, we're going to be building workforce housing. We're working through some of the detail with the Housing Authority, but workforce housing is the next thing that's coming to Linden, so that people who can't afford to pay that $2,000 rent will be able to live comfortably in nice housing here in Linden as well. So that's the next thing on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Halloran, just one, Council President. The Linden, Mr. Halloran here.
Yes.
The Linden Police Department's hosting a Linden Citizens Adult Academy, in case you were interested. It starts in October, and that's open to all adult residents of Linden. It's literally like a Linden Citizens Academy, sponsored by the Police Department.
All right, thank you. Okay, Mr. Kaminsky?
Good evening, Ed Kaminsky, Maple Avenue in Linden, of course. Kudos to a lot of parties going on in the town. Kudos to DPW, the police, and everyone that really is working above and beyond. I know it's a lot of work, and it seems like every week. Also, kudos to, I was at Wilson Park yesterday, the resurfaced and redone courts. They look very, very nice, as do the plants, on the lights on Wood Avenue, at least on some of them. That being said, just want to focus on health and what, the The parties are photo ops and light stuff. And we could debate whether we have too many, too little, whatever, or the reasoning for them. But really, the meat and potatoes and why you guys are here, and I've said this before, is to protect us. Now, I was on that call the other day regarding the facility on New Brunswick Avenue, and basically what was said there was contrary to things that were put on social media by some up there. So I am shocked. I mean, with that, with where the Meridia 2 is, we've had issues there a couple years ago with asbestos being let up and other issues in Linden, like the 5G transmitters, which we still haven't got an answer about, and that goes back months. And I'm just shocked at we're spending the first 35 minutes, and I love, acknowledging kids and stuff like that, but silence on stuff that affects the health and the quality of life in Linden. I think it's mandatory that you guys should get together, get your answers straight, get people that can answer questions in a coherent and non-contradictory way, and tell us what the heck is going on with not only that facility on New Brunswick Avenue. I'm surprised, sir, 8th Ward Councilman, that you said it's a government issue. No, it's a health issue for us, for Linden. It's a Linden issue. The government has a role, and I don't know what's going on there. But, there should be, like I said, a dais with people that can actually answer questions at different stakeholders, not some call. And I was shocked at quite frankly, our folks, how quiet they remained on that call the other day. But, the inaction, the glibness about health issues, real important stuff, and the focus on parties, total disconnect. So I wish that somebody would, please address that or begin to address it. I have a couple seconds left, but First Ward Councilwoman, at that park, broad daylight, I can empathize with you. I've actually smelled pot there too. I'm not one to call. Most of the time, they're gone before the police show up anyway, but I did call. There was kids literally smoking on school grounds, 6 feet from one door, a dozen feet, no more than another, cameras under it, smoke pot. Chief, I called the police on that one just because I felt that just crossed the sensibilities. And the lady was very nice. However, she said, well, would you like to speak to a policeman? No, I'd like somebody to go there to make these kids stop. So I bring that up not to be critical. It did happen, but when something happened, when my brother's property was vandalized, a similar question was asked. Well, what would you like us to do? Well, we have a prosecutor in town. We have police. Let's talk. It's not our job to dictate what should be done.
Mr.
Please
Kaminsky, your
do
time
what
is
these,
up.
Hold these kids responsible. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Okay. John Kazor?
John Kaiser, 23 West Winslow Avenue. I thought it was real nice you answered Mr. O'Halloran's questions. I'd love for somebody to answer Ms. Henderson's questions. I don't know. Mr. Mayor, you have any comments on it? No? You could use your minute at the end. You could use your minute on that. Just some observations, just driving around the city. I didn't prepare nothing this week, Man, our new Hasidic neighbors, they're really busting up Sunnyside, ain't they? It's amazing. It's man, wow, it's sad. You talk about ordinances, like ordinance, schmordinance. You're not going to do nothing about it. It doesn't matter. They come in here and they get their $500 fine. They burn that money. It don't matter. Meanwhile, we have my boy Armstead. He's just destroying the rest of the city. I sat here 3 years ago and I was like, I'm down with redevelopment. I am. But this overdevelopment, you guys up here, are any of you benefiting off of this? Honestly, are you happy with the apartments that are going up? You're happy with the direction of the city? I was told it was going to be non-condemnation with the Quick Check property, and then it was, oh no, we're not going to take the property. Well, they eminent domained it. The city took it. The Quick Check property is done. It's crazy. I don't know. And now we're talking about, like you said, $2,000 rent. No, I just checked today. It's $2,800. The gentrification of Linden is on, and you know, the residents that have been there forever, us, last of the Mohicans. If you're trying to rent, that's a mortgage. So now you're saying that it's going to be workforce development, people with one person working. Is that a Quick Check? That's what it's going to be, the Quick Check property? Anyway, maybe you guys should have a moment of silence tonight for the guy that used to sit in your seat, the guy that dragged me 2 years through a court, over 2 years through a court case. You know he's facing his own court case tomorrow. Are you going to get him out of that, Mr. Mayor? Are you going to get Peter Brown out of that? I'm just wondering. I love you, Mr. Chief Hart. I just can't believe that the Linden Police Department let that man go in there and file police report after police report. You would not have let a regular citizen do that. So, I don't know. It's all I wanted to do was see that dude going, and I guess he is. So thank you so much. Again, Mr. Mayor, I would love to hear you address Ms. Henderson's comments or questions. Thank you.
Okay, can we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed? Yes. Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Yes. Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, comments from from members of the governing body? Okay, all right, Councilman Medina, go ahead.
Sure, real brief. Thank you, Mr. Kaminsky, for reminding us of the health concerns in the city of Linden. I did ask the city attorney for an update on the 4G, 5G, whatever these ugly little cell phone mini towers that I'm really concerned about. He will be putting some pressure on our consultant and will be hopefully getting to us at the next council meeting or in between. But I did ask the question last night. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for more additional information. Just can't really go into details, but just want to make a note of that. Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Blaine?
I also want to comment on the EPA issue, and it really is a government issue because it's not just a Linden. They are abiding by the laws, the EPA requirements. So right now we are monitoring everything, and we're trying to give all the information that we have out to the public, and that's why I encourage people to come out to the health events that we do have, and please feel free to ask every question that you have, because every question is important, because I live in this town. My health is your health, and that's our main concern, health as well.
Thank you, Councilman Blaine. Councilman Roman?
Thank you, Council President. Just want to remind Six Waters, bulk trash on our side of Wheeler Park is tomorrow. John Kazers, 23 West Munsell, that's you, in case you're throwing out anything. Also, anyone in near the St. Teresa's area, anything on that side of 1 and 9, not the other side. Linden Citizens Academy is coming. There's still room, so just check on the Linden website if you want to participate. But I wanted to talk about the EPA issue, but I think that I would really like to defer to our health officer in regards to the health fair that's coming up, and that there are going to be people there to discuss that and talk to people, from my understanding. Is that right? Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Okay, Councilman Mohammed?
I'd like to change my vote on the Personnel Committee report to vote for yes, with the exception of 4B. And also for a point of civility, I'd like to point out to people, we don't call grown men boys. That went out many years ago, sir. I don't know where you're from. But I think that when you come to these meetings, you should be civil. It's not cute. It's stupid, divided as our country is now. Look.
Now, one person.
No, shut up.
Mr.
You shut up,
Kazar,
sir.
you're out of order.
You shut up. You know
Mr.
what?
Kazar, Councilman, don't go back and forth with him.
You shut up. You didn't serve in the Navy. You didn't serve in anything.
Mr. Kazar, you're out of order.
You don't give me no break.
Councilman, don't go back and forth with him. That's stupid.
Mr. Kazar, you're out of order. Sir, the public comment portion of the meeting is over, sir.
Mr. Kazar? Mr. Kazar? You're out of order. I'm out of order. He's out of order. You're not.
No, sir, you are out of order, sir. Public comment is over. That's it.
Yes, I just wanted to call our attention to civility, and that whatever we have, positions that we may want to bring before this council, everybody respect all the people who come before. But no one is here to be insulted or to insult others. And in case people need any mental help, I'd be glad to refer them to mental health counseling.
When's the October meeting, bro? Wait for my 3 minutes.
I'm not responding to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to let the Third Ward know that there's going to be a waived garage sale on October 1st, so it's no fees for that. And I just want to let everyone know, in reference to 4B, I voted no because I don't agree with it. He is hardworking, and he's always doing a phenomenal job. He helps everyone in every ward, and he just excels compared to anyone. I can't say his name, but I'm not happy about it.
Yes, and I'm going to ask you to beg my indulgence for a few, because the first thing I want to do is apologize to all of the people in this audience. When a person comes up and makes a comment and identifies a person based on their race or their ethnicity, it is not cool at all. We are an inclusive community, and we embrace anyone who wants to move into this community. Now, there is a difference between the developers or the LLCs that are coming in and buying up some of the houses and then just renting them out and not caring. But there's a lot of families, Hasidic Jewish families, that bring their children, and they're wonderful people that want to be part of our community. And I just want to remind everybody, back in 1960, the comment that was made about them coming in and whatever were made about my father too. Only thing it wasn't that he was Hasidic. He was black, and he was not permitted to move into certain communities. So I have zero tolerance for anyone that's going to come up to this podium and make any type of distinction between any ethnicity, religious group, race, or whatever. It's just not what Linden is all about. Every person in here with brown skin, whether they're Asian, people of color, we are a vital part of this community, and if you're going to be a good neighbor and, you know, abide by the laws of Linden, you're welcome here. But the developers, like I said, that come in and want to do whatever they want. I had a Spanish family that took a house on Henry Street, completely gutted the house, and then tried to sell it, and construction code came down on him like no tomorrow. Denied him everything, made him rip back out walls because he did it without a permit. He could not sell his house. Missed out on a lot of money. So we are an equal opportunity, law-abiding zoning and construction code. So that comment bothered me. And I'll tell anyone with all my heart that the same statement identifying a certain group was made in the 1960s when my dad wanted to buy a house. It cannot be tolerated in the city. It cannot be tolerated, period. So I want to apologize to the city of Linden and to anyone else who is watching it. This is not how we act, period. And as for 4B, I love Shane. I love him. I love 4B, I should say. And we're going to do whatever we can to rectify it. But I also want to just sit back and say is that when our hands are tied by civil service, no one fails a civil service test because that goes to the state. Whether you're a fire person or whatever, if you fail it and it goes down as a failure, our hands are tied. So don't be misled that there's going to be failures that pop out. There may be some other issues, but if you fail the test, you fail the test. And there's a difference between failing the test and not being able to take the test. So just keep that in mind when we're starting to gather information. I want you to gather correct information, because I'm all about 4B, or whatever the number is. I'm all about that. He's great. He's wonderful.
Yeah. Councilwoman?
Okay. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next council meeting will be as follows. Council conference meeting Monday, October 17, 2022 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting Tuesday, October 18, 6 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council meeting Tuesday, October 18, 2022 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. These meetings will be held in person. Can we have a motion to adjourn, please?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Blaine?
Yes.
Medina?
Yes.
Hudak? Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Monique, I had to turn my text on.